All right, we welcome you back to Facebook Live here on this Halloween evening. Hopefully everybody got their trick-or-treating done. Now kids, make sure your parents sort that candy out pretty good here before you get ready to chomp down on it tomorrow. Now we're looking at some severe weather rolling into the area just in time for you to head indoors, especially if you're in Baltimore, especially off to the east into the eastern shore. Still have a little bit of time out there, but storms are not too far off. They're knocking on the door of the city right now. A little bit of a lag to this line as it starts to work on through. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in place for portions of Carroll, Howard, and Montgomery County. That will go until 9 o'clock. But you can see basically from northern Baltimore County up towards the Shrewsbury, York area, there is a severe thunderstorm warning up there for those folks right over the line from Parkton as well as the Hereford zone. Pretty much a straight edge on the showers and thunderstorms now out of Westminster, Taneytown. It's over with. As you get out towards Frederick, it's over with. It's just looking like some rain out there. It's the front edge of this is where we're starting to see the problem. So we'll basically start where that severe thunderstorm warning is in place right now. That includes Freedom as well as Eldersburg. Our friends out in Columbia, Glen Elg, seeing some of this over towards back up towards the Olney and Dayton area, Damascus, Mount area along 27, 29 and the 32 corridor, dropping down into portions of Howard County around the Olney and Brookville area. Seeing some of this activity and even up towards Woodville. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock. So that's for those folks once again along 40 as well as 70 prime corridor there. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock. Moving east, northeast at 50 miles per hour. Biggest hazard here is going to be 60-mile-per-hour winds. Right now the storm is extending near Damascus to Lowe's Island, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Those gusty winds will continue to chug through the area, right now. Freedom up towards Woodville, seeing the issues here at this time. We'll go further off to the north and you'll be able to see, once again, this is what we're looking at up here towards the Parkton area, out through the Hereford zone, over towards Pretty Boy Reservoir, Forreston, over through Yuho, out through Pleasant Grove, along 137, back out through Mount Carmel, up along Falls Road there on 25. We'll be looking for those issues as well with that severe thunderstorm warning continuing in place. Going to open up Facebook Live here to get some of your questions as more of you tune on in, in regards to what we're expecting here, at least for the severe weather across the area. So we're going to pull this up and you'll be able to see there's lightning now in Hartford County. So thank you, Liz, for the update on that. It's pouring in Freedom. Thank you, Nancy, for your update. Rock Hall, Chestertown, let's say about, it's 8:54 right now. Let's go with 9:30, 9:45. You'll see the storms out your way, Marja. Justin, the wind is kicking in Havre de Grace. Thank you, Justin, for the update there. Probably around 9:15-ish, 9:30 on those storms. Hello to Jolene, Jessup, Laurel, and Elk Ridge area. Knocking on the door right now with those storms. And hello, already got some gusty winds with Lawrence and Zach up there in Havre de Grace. Says that the Legion is currently blowing chairs over on the deck. So we're likely seeing some gusts 30, 40 miles per hour out there in Havre de Grace. Bel Air is going to see the same thing. Towson most likely getting those gusts. Same thing in Dublin with Kenzie Ken. Thank you for the update. Pouring in Eldersburg. Yes, we're seeing that in Eldersburg. So northern Baltimore County are not under the warning. Most likely getting some wind gusts here upwards of 40 miles per hour, and we'll go over to an actual different radar view. Let me pull this off and we'll flip this over to the regular radar coming out of Sterling. And you'll get a little sampling here of what we're expecting, at least with the wind. And we're seeing those gusts generally around 30 to 40 miles per hour, even a 50 mile per hour gust showing up there right around Hunt Valley along Shawan Road over towards the Cockeysville area, pushing back along portions of 136 that will dump you out over towards the Troyer-Moncton area up there along the NCR trail, jumping up towards the Jarrettsville area. That has cycled back down to about 30 mile per hour gusts. So this is kind of what we're contending with here, at least on those gusty winds. So Reisterstown over to Eldersburg out through the Columbia area. We're seeing those gusty winds here at this time, and up towards the Columbia area looking at gusts about 35 miles per hour here rolling on through. Hello to Holly, hello to Janice, Dundalk right now. Nikki, you'll be looking at those winds rolling into the area. Stephanie, no rain yet in northeast. It will get there. We're still waiting on that. Across the area here at this point. Hello to Valerie, glad the kids got to go out. Yes, we're glad that this kind of held off a little bit as it starts to cruise through the area. So back over to the radar view here, and we'll loop this into motion. You can see over the last hour, last 2 hours, how quickly this has moved into the area with the severe weather. And we'll continue to contend with this, with those showers and storms working on through. So I'm going to pop this back over to actually the Weather Service radar coming out of Sterling, Virginia here. And you'll be able to see, we'll pull this out a little bit wider. Waiting on the warning right now, at least to see if they extend this coming out of Carroll and Howard County. We're going to see if they extend that into Baltimore City here very shortly. Do have a couple flash flood warnings off to the north, up towards the Harrisburg, York area, so we'll be keeping an eye on it for our friends out there in southeastern Pennsylvania. But right now, the name of the game is pretty much wind gusts about 30 to 50, cutting through Baltimore County, northern Baltimore County right now, knocking on the door of Towson. As you get down into portions of Howard as well as southern Carroll County, it's pouring right now with our friends in Eldersburg as well as West Friendship along the 29 and 32 stretch, and then dumping back along 27 out to the Damascus and Mount Airy area, back out to Damascus and Mount Airy area. Some good news, at least on the home front, is the tornado watch has now been canceled for Frederick County, so they continue to slowly peel this away as this line of showers and thunderstorms continue off to the east. Doreen says, everyone be safe. Very windy now in Bel Air. Hello to Tricia. Still quiet in Ellicott City. Wind is blowing bad in Elkton and Cecil County with Tammy. Ginger says the winds are terrible with this as well. So we'll show you some wind, and we'll give you kind of a good sampling, at least statewide, of what we're looking at. I want to show you a couple other things as well. You'll be able to see here the wind gust. Right now, right around 22 miles per hour down at the airport, about 39 miles per hour there at the Naval Academy right on the water, 43 mile per hour gust in Easton. Everybody else right around 30 miles per hour or more from Frederick to Hagerstown out through Deep Creek and down to the south in Patuxent River. We'll localize this a bit more, and you'll be able to see likely cashing in some wind gusts upwards of 30, 40 miles per hour with our friends in Havre de Grace, Elkton, Bel Air, Lutherville over to Glen Burnie out through Columbia and Mount Airy as this line of showers and storms continues to pool on through. So this is what we continue to see, at least with those winds that are pumping. The Susquehanna River is pretty choppy right now, enjoying the show with Zach. That's what he's seeing up there up towards Delta, as well as up there across portions of Cardiff, PA, up that way along the Susquehanna. Hello to Melanie, windy in Parkville. Hello to Gina, crazy wind, rain in New Freedom up there towards York. Appreciate the update there. Kelvin says, I'm loving the air. It's very warm. It's very muggy out there. That will change pretty quickly. Ginger says, if you have a trampoline, check them. For ours, it was anchored and it was picked up by the wind. Where did that happen, Ginger? Hello to Veronica in Northeast and Cecil County. Rhonda, so glad the bad weather stayed away. Yes, that's what we're glad that it did, but we're still waiting to see what happens here as this line continues to push off to the east. What's going to happen in the Owings Mills area? The rain's going to pick up. The wind's going to pick up as well, and behind this mess you'll be able to see what's going to happen. A big difference in temperature. We got 70s in Baltimore, but 40s out towards Deep Creek, so that's a big drop off, at least contrast wise, as this thing comes through, and you'll be able to see a difference in the air that you can wear as well. The gradient, it's very moist right now. As you step out that air, it's very muggy and steamy and in around Baltimore as well as Annapolis and Easton, but on the other side of the mountains, it's completely dry, and that drier air is going to start to advance into the area here as we get towards the next couple of hours ahead. So radar right now, this is kind of what it looks like as things advance our way, and severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire for Carroll, Howard, and Montgomery County. Still have a little piece of that, though, off to the north, and we'll still watch as we're getting a couple lightning bolts here at times with this line as it cruises on through, but it looks like we may be losing a little steam. We still can't count us out of the woods yet as this comes into Baltimore City. Should be here right now. It's 9 o'clock. We got a little bit of a lag here. I'd say about next 10 to 15 minutes, we'll start to get those storms into the city itself. Deborah says, be careful. Justin says, Mother Nature is really giving us quite a scare tonight. It's going to be cold tomorrow morning. Yes, Brandy, going to be very cold. As those temperatures start to drop, and Ginger says it's 45 where she's at right now, so she's likely behind the front. Hello to Charles. Towson is in the house, so hello to Towson, right down the street here from the television station. We're watching this line of showers and storms cruising on through. So once again, we'll go back to the watches here. We'll be able to show you tornado watch in yellow. That goes until midnight. Severe thunderstorm watch here in pink. That will go until 1 a.m. for the eastern shore. of Maryland, as well as up towards portions of Cecil County. That will go until 1 a.m. That severe thunderstorm watch means conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms to develop. So a bigger view of this, we got a big cold front that's going to come through the area. Behind this, it's actually snowing in Michigan. I called a friend up there, and he's seeing some snow coming down pretty good up there in Michigan right now behind this storm system. Out ahead of it, it's all severe weather, and that extends from upstate New York as well as portions of Vermont and New Hampshire and Massachusetts, all the way down into New Jersey, down into the lower Delmarva, as well as out through portions of Virginia. Bigger problem right now in Virginia, by the way, if you do have friends or family out here towards Richmond, we'll pull this radar down here a little bit, and we'll be able to show you some big problems down here. A couple tornado warnings have been issued as this thing has come through the Richmond area tonight. We had 5 or 6 tornado warnings for a period of time as that line of showers and storms come on through. We do have some new rain warnings. We actually have one little flood warning now in place. We'll go back over here to the precipitation view and see what this is putting out. But over the last 6 hours, it looks like we picked up a decent rain accumulation, and we'll put those aerial flood warnings on there for you and show you what's going on, at least across portions. It looks like Frederick, Howard, and Montgomery County will be underneath that aerial flood warning. That will encompass that area right there along the Dawsonville area, along the creek there, along 270, back out through Ballinger Creek and over towards the Urbana area. That will go until midnight tonight for rainfall amounts upwards of an inch or more. That created some aerial flooding concerns in that very small little bright green box that you see lit up there on the screen. It's hard to believe that, and we're still in drought concerns that we're seeing a little bit of aerial flooding out there, and that's because of the runoff with the ground being so hard below. Hello to Vicky in Jarrettsville, Pet Sitting in Delta. Very windy up there. Samantha watching in Cecil County. Hello to you. Hello to Santia in Buffalo, New York. I'll take the rain over the snow. Hello to Joshua. I could not go outside today. Hello to Gina. Windy and lightning in PG County. Lights are flickering a little bit with Gina there in PG County. I'd rather have the snow than have the tornadoes. Samantha, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Middle River, Kim. Right now it's 9:03. This is still not in the city yet. We're getting ready to start to get some of that rain in here, along with those gusty winds. The trailing edge is over in Eldersburg. I'd say the city probably coming up here at 9:15. Middle River, about 20 minutes or so from the city. I would say a little after 9:30. It should be on your doorstep there. Middle River, same thing with Shanae out there in Parkville. Watching in Wilmington, Delaware with Amy. Appreciate you watching up there in Wilmington. This should be out your way once we get towards the 10 o'clock hour tonight. Catonsville, Cat, it's right on your doorstep. You should be starting to feel the raindrops right now because Peggy over in Sykesville is getting hammered with the showers and thunderstorms and the wind. And George, Dundalk, it's right on your doorstep as well as these showers and storms come on through. So we'll put this radar into motion, and you'll be able to see this is what it looks like. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning. That's up towards Peach Bottom. Heads up for those folks in Fawn Grove. That's a usual suspect area for some trees to come down up there. Pilesville, northern Hartford County, dumping out towards Fawn Grove along portions of the 24 stretch as well as 136 stretch up that way up towards Shaw's Orchards. Same thing, northern portions of Baltimore County get up around the Parkton area into the Hereford zone, out there through Bagsignani Winery down there along 25 over towards the Butler neighborhood. Seeing some of that wind that will be gusting 30, 40 miles per hour. Hampstead, Lineborough, Millers out there along the 30 stretch getting problems right now, dumping back into Frizzleburg into Carroll County. Southern portions of Carroll County, Eldersburg, our friends over there in Sykesville. It's raining like crazy out that way, raining hard in Pikesville right now out along 795. So it's inbound to Baltimore here, should get there probably in the next 10 minutes or so into the city itself. So heads up, your Mount Washington neighborhood over to Hamden, out through Govans, and eventually down into portions of Federal Hill, East Baltimore, West Baltimore is going to get in on the action here with the wind. You're already seeing the wind, hearing some thunder with Tracy and Randallstown. It's raining. Chantel says just started raining in Reisterstown right now, so very close to the city. Very close to the city. So we wanted to get on here with you on Facebook Live as this started to move on in. So there's the radar view. We'll go back to the watches here. Tornado watch in place in yellow. That has been carved out of Frederick County. That's good news. We'll start to see that peel back next out of Carroll and portions of Montgomery and Howard County. This is going to go until, let's say, 12 o'clock tonight in the yellow zone, but it's probably going to be canceled before that. Over in the pink zone, though, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that will go until 1 a.m., and that's for our friends out there in the Eastern Shore as well as across portions of Cecil County. So Michael says very windy in Centerville. We'll show you those winds once again here on the wind map, and we'll give you kind of a ballpark figure of what we're looking at here locally. Centerville, 43-mile-per-hour gust. Same thing, Cecilton, Betterton, Chestertown getting those wind gusts over 40. Up around Havre de Grace, Edgewood, Elkton out ahead of the frontal boundary up around 40 miles per hour. And continuing to see that in the city itself. Winds have dropped off a little bit out towards Westminster once these storms come on through. No rain yet with Kim, not in Annapolis, but it's coming with Mary. Let it play past 9 p.m. The Weather Channel has it coming right over us, Thomas. Hello to Crystal, hate tornadoes. Hello to Teresa in Baltimore as well. Appreciate y'all tuning on in. So wanted to give you kind of an update in regards to what was going on out there right now in regards to the severe weather across the area. So going to double check here. We're waiting to see if any more warnings get issued for the area, and it looks like we still got you on Facebook Live here, so wanted to see if we can get any more questions in. Heavy winds sprinkle in Havre de Grace so far with Marianne, so we're already starting to see some rain getting out towards Havre de Grace, and you can see those winds here on the map gusting upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour in many neighborhoods. We'll go back over to the radar view and we'll keep this looping into motion, and you can see as we close in right now up here to the north, it's on your doorstep, Cockeysville. Same thing up there, Hunt Valley. Hereford zone's in it. Reisterstown, Hampstead along the 795 stretch, getting ready to come into the top half of the Beltway outside of Towson. Rain's going to pick up. Eldersburg, West Friendship, it's already slamming you. Sykesville, same thing, getting in on the rain over to Lisbon and Laytonsville and Damascus, seeing some of those problems as well. Pretty windy in Cecil County with Lauren. Thank you for the update there, Lauren. Hello to Kenny. No rain yet in Brooklyn Park. When is it coming? Give it about 15 to 20 minutes. It should be inbound to Brooklyn Park. It's right out towards Columbia, Randallstown right now, and it should be headed your way in the next 15 to 20 minutes or less. We'll be looking at that rain coming in. Heavy rain and thunder and heavy rain and wind in Hampstead, and that is from Lindsay. That is from Lindsay that we'll be looking at that. So got some very heavy rain and wind, but no warnings. No warnings, so that is good news. No warnings here on the map, with the exception up here across portions of York, as well as Lancaster County in Pennsylvania is where we do have those warnings in place. But in and around the area, no warnings, no tornado warnings, no warnings at all. Do have one severe thunderstorm warning that has been reissued. That's down here towards the district into portions of Montgomery County, southern Montgomery County. That will put us south of Rockville is where this warning is in play, and that will go until 9:45. But that is out of our area. That is out of our area. Dawn from Dundalk, hello. But continuing to see that rain now starting to pick up as it enters the city. That line still, give it another 5 minutes or so, should be overhead. We have a little bit of lag here in the line as it continues off to the east. So heavy rain, heavy wind is what we're going to be looking at. Very windy with Eva there in Fair Hill. Up across portions of Cecil County up there by the fairgrounds. We'll continue to see those winds piling on through. So wider view of this is a big frontal boundary. Behind it, it is very cold. And we'll show you what we're talking about out ahead. It's fall and more springish on the temperature, but you get back here, Charleston, West Virginia, Louisville, out through Indianapolis, Chicago, Green Bay, it is now in the 30s. It is now in the 30s with temperatures. So very, very cold stuff that's going to be coming our way in the coming days ahead. So let's put this into motion here on Futurecast, and we'll show you what's going on. So here's the front now. It's a little off in its placement here on the model. And that's about 9 o'clock. That's basically where we're at right now. This will continue to chug through 10, 11 o'clock, marching east, and then it's pretty much out of here once we get past the 11 o'clock newscast, and that's when temperatures are going to start to drastically cool, but the wind is going to remain through the overnight hours. Speaking of those winds, as we run a timetable here for you, here's as we go through right now, and the winds by tomorrow are still gusting to 30 miles per hour down at the bus stop tomorrow morning. That's going to give us a wind chill factor that makes it feel more like the upper 30s in many spots, and those winds will continue through the early half of the afternoon before chugging on down and cooling down, or calming down as we get towards Friday afternoon. So a very windy day ahead behind the front. Those winds will remain in play, and that's what will drain in the cooler and the drier air, still gusting to 30, 35 miles per hour at times as that front comes on through. So back to the radar here as we continue to watch, and we may let you go since we're not seeing any additional warnings issued here on Facebook Live, but want to show you this. A lot of folks are now reporting the heavy rain and wind on their doorstep down there in Reisterstown as well as Owings Mills. We'll continue to see that starting to rain in Lockern with Lynette. Thank you, Lynette, for the update there. Hello to Kathy. Nothing going on in Essex. It'll be coming. It'll be coming into the Essex area very shortly, and nothing in Glen Burnie yet with Judy, but this is what we'll continue to see. The rain's going to pick up. It's going to be pretty much blowing sideways for a period of time. We're going to get those gusts about 30 to 50 miles per hour at times. Can't rule out a couple tree branches down, maybe a couple trees down at times, and the power may flicker a little bit as this continues on through. Just double checking to the north, still just the severe thunderstorm warning up there in southeastern PA. No warnings here in Baltimore, that's good. But you'll be looking at those gusty winds along with some heavy rain. Only warning right now just to our south in Montgomery County, and that goes until 9:45 p.m. 9:45 p.m. as these storms continue on through. So nothing in Glen Burnie, nothing in Towson with Colin, but it's on our doorstep. It's knocking, and just can hear a little rumble of thunder out here at the studio. No lightning really to report either, but you're going to see a noticeable difference in the wind. It's going to pick up, and then the rain will eventually follow about 10 to 15 minutes later as this starts to work into the area. So we just wanted to get on here with you on Facebook Live to let you know that this was coming on through, and luckily for us, it looks like we're not seeing any issues, at least with any warnings at this time. Of course, if there is a tornado warning issued at any point over the next 2 hours, we'll pop back in with you here on live television as well as Facebook Live simultaneously to let you know what is going on. But prepare for the wind as well as the rain. It will be brief, about an hour or less as it comes through, and then after that, it's going to get a lot cooler and drier. We'll have an update on the rest of this forecast situation coming up tonight at 11. Remember, you can always download our free mobile app at WMAR2 News, available at the Apple and Google Play Store. Also look us up at WMAR2News.com, Facebook, Twitter for the latest weather and news updates. Most of all, stay safe out there this evening. Have a happy Halloween, and get ready for some sweater weather in the coming days ahead.